good energy for you guys. What's going on, guys? It's ELI'S.JYESTHA, and now we will be tuning in to the cons of the Zodiac sign Taurus, okay? And also aka known as second house, okay? So if I say second house, just know that every zodiac sign is stationed by numbers too. If I say second house, okay? Let me see. I'm just trying to make sure my audio is good for you guys. Okay, I think it's pretty fine. I got earphones so I can hear. Okay, let me get started. Hold on. Alright. So, what is the second house? The second house is your monetary gains, meaning the things you own, the things you buy, and of course your money, your checking account, your saving account, your investments, anything that is around your resources, or of course your natural items, only yours, not somebody you're borrowing, or some stuff you're borrowing, but yeah, none of that, okay? Is specifically what you've earned. All right, and not only that, it is your livelihood, okay? Your immediate family, the family again you grew up with, the family that you saw day to day when you were ages precisely 2 to 8, 8 to 16, 8 to 25 or 20, 16 to 25 or 26 and so on. Basically 7 houses away from the second house, and keep going on from age wise, but really it's more so of age, okay? So people in your age range, not too far away from you, that's second house. Second house is your eyesight. It's also how you see things, how you see everything, what you value in this life, okay? What you believe is a morality. And again, morality is connected to ninth house, but realistically, as just like the normal earth playing field, you wanna put that in the second house. Second house has that ability to not only see, of course, the earth, not be, if not the most grounded sign as far as earth, and just in general as far as being fixed, but because this site sees things through earth, okay, through the universe, all right, has basically the sight of the universe, all right. And yeah, I would say that's pretty much it, yeah, as far as like a quick summarization of, second house. Alright. Second house, I'm going to be saying some cons that's not written down, because I kind of just wanted to, I don't want to prolong this series, because I know I got to do Sun and Virgo. I might do Sun and Virgo next week. If I can fit it in this week's schedule while I start work, then that'll be good. But if not, 100% Friday, Saturday, or Sunday of this week, Sun transit Virgo I will be doing, and then Sun transit Leo I will be doing. I'm gonna skip Leo for right now and go to No, I'm gonna do sun. I'm gonna do sun Leo first. I can't do that because that's the natural state that the sun is in that sign. So yeah. So what is the cons? What is some cons of the second house? Some cons of the second house is individuals who, oh yeah, this is again, if you are a Taurus naturally by sun, this video is significantly for you. If you are a Taurus by moon, this is meant for you especially too. And if your ascendant sign, not only that the planet Venus is in the ascendant rising, and not only that, 2 or more planets, this video is for you. And if you do not have any planets in your first house, your ascendant, your rising sign, alright, this video is 100% still for you, okay? Now, one of the bad cons of characteristics that these people will have is they will have negative connotations to their partner. So partner may go broke, or may not have as much money, or not just much money. They more so they may go through an up and down balance of keeping their money in a solidified good state. Okay, so this goes for female and male, since the 8th house is right across from the 2nd house as far as opposite signs. Okay, one of the cons too is partner also too may dip into funds a lot more than usual. Okay, and again, this will kind of, one of the cons is this kind of will be an up and down period. Alright, 2nd house also too is one of the cons is insecurity of look. Okay, not looking good enough, not smelling good enough, not having a nice smile good enough, not looking at the, not basically not for this sign, not feeling like the world is seeing the best version of you. This is one of the cons. As far as if this isn't balanced, this could be a negative connotation to this sign. Okay, as far as just not feeling confident in the beauty that they that they have. That is a negative connotation because they could easily shadow their selves on towards somebody else, of course. All right. What else? Low support of livelihood, family, or just low support of livelihood. So, if poor characteristics of poor cons of Taurus is not much support with livelihood, or not supportive towards that livelihood. This could be 100% a negative connotation to the 2nd house. Let's see. Okay. Also, one of the cons of this sign is also this sign could be very like too much headstrong. Okay, too much and when I say headstrong is good, but when I say too headstrong, basically too domineering. This is first house and 2nd house could be very over domineering. This is one of the cons. As far as how they will want people to see their strength. Okay, so domineering of second house is domineering in the bad way, domineering of perspectives. Okay. A negative connotation too is underestimation of non-valuing of what they have or what they know. This is 100%, and not only that, what they want. Okay, because if 8th house is hidden obsessions, right? Second house is known obsessions. Okay, so if 8th house is your hidden obsessions, second house is going to be the obsessions that you see, that everybody sees, not just you. Okay. Second house has a second house and 8th house. Really, second house has a relative what is it? Severe judgment of look of individuals. Okay, so this could be a negative connotation. When I say that, this is kind of like, okay, you're looking at somebody, right? And you're going to, let's say you're going to the club, right? You go in the club, everybody dresses nice, right? Second house will look at everybody, and second house will see the closest, right? And then they'll judge them, right? Up and down, they'll look at their whole outfit, their whole clothing style, right? And they will estimate the priceage, the quality, the quantity, and the brand itself. Okay? Because second house is focused on your physical worth. So that could be a con as far as not your worth, but not just your worth, but your estimation of how much somebody else can afford, if that makes sense, or how or what class of what class of finance an individual could be just off of how somebody could dress. Second house can do that to you. It can automatically assume off of, let's say somebody has fake brands. Second house would detect that. Okay. And don't get me wrong, right? Let's say somebody's rich and they can have a fake brand. Second house might not detect it at that moment of time, you know. The second house is always one of the other cons is too much focus on what is valuable. Okay. Oh, Eli, that's not too bad. You know, focus on what's valuable. Let me explain. Sometimes sometimes some people's value, or just value in general, isn't seen all the way. Okay. Second house kind of brings that in a negative way, of like superficial judgment. Okay. One of the other cons of second house is imbalance of weight. Okay. What do I mean? Basically, it will either be like this. Second house cons with body type will either be like, since it's a fixed house, your body might be a certain way for a long period of time, right? Then all of a sudden, 10 years fly by and you haven't been doing as much exercising as you need to be. That is second house. Okay. Alright. Second house brings known enemies. Okay. Second house brings severe poor eyesight. Alright, so what do I mean? So Taurus is all in the face, okay? When I make facial expressions, right? All these nerves and all these are connected to whatever in my body, okay? I don't have the time right now to figure that out because I'm going through things in my life. But I'll figure that out soon in the future. What is the five senses all connected to as far as in the body? Alright, I know a few. Well, let me get to my message, right? Severe poor eyesight spiritually, right? It could mean a lot of million different things. Okay? And I know, how is that a con, right? That's not a con. I just put it down. I've been having trouble putting up cons for second house. Because like, I got a lot of cons for each house or each sign. When I'm making these videos, I swear, if I don't hurry up and like put it inside here, it floats. I swear, it floats away. I might think about it, I might not, but sometimes it floats away. Okay. But when I say severe poor eyesight, right, it could go from many different ways. It can mean Venus is placed in a like bad house, alright? And oh yeah, if rehabilitation gives you poor eyesight, rehabilitation is going to give you other problems. Like for instance, like poor eyesight, people might play tricks on you, tricks like try to be funny because you can't see. Some people might really be funny and you can't see, like steal or do something wrong because your alertness, there we go, it's kind of connected to your not only reaction skills but your responses, as far as how good can you respond if you have a rehabilitation. Not only severe poor eyesight, but bad connotation is also defection with speech, defection with tone. These are the deaf people, okay? But this is only for the severe rehabilitation, okay? Sun doesn't give that most of the times, but this is if Venus is placed somewhere crazy in your chart, or it's affected by a planet with it, you know. But even though you might have debilitation or like hearing, alright, severe poor hearing, okay, all these are debilitations of the second house, because Venus is probably irritated since birth. That's why. Anyways, bad breath, okay. Bad breath can kind of it lowers your I wouldn't say it lowers your financial gain, because that's what I was thinking of, but really it affects your partners, if that makes sense. So if you also too Venus construed, this could like give like some disease of mouth or oral, okay, that could be a bad breath, if that makes sense, because of like the disease with in the throat or the mouth or in the teeth area, okay. That kind of could affect, like, you know, how hot your breath is. Severe skin breakouts, okay. One of the characteristics of being of a debilitated second house is severe, like, skin breakouts. This is Venus is definitely affected, okay. If you have any type of face injury, pimples, or not even just injury, but because injury would be Mars there, but if we're talking about like pimples or like blisters, you know, certain stuff like that, that is a negative connotation because it is affecting you in a certain type of way, okay. Or this is the type of individuals is a negative connotation. And again, because the 8th house is right across, right, it has that sudden burst of like whatever characteristics I say are like, is more cons than pros. Trust me, it's millions for each sign. But the more this basically the severe skin breakout or the things. Oh, I said the things, but what I'm trying to say is like, since 8th house is far away, right, or is opposite, it kind of gives that sudden effect to kind of like overlaps the cons or overlaps the pros, meaning like reverse it, okay. So for instance, you could have, I don't know, if not severe acne, but what is the other thing called, where it's kind of like your skin is dry, right, to where you gotta put certain medication on it. That's debilitation in Taurus. That's the debilitation in Venus, okay. Because it's affecting your skin. Or you can have something since birth. You can have something in your DNA. The second house is your DNA. Okay. Careless in tone and speech. So these are the people who don't necessarily care on what they say, and not just not care, but letting off all their hidden thoughts, sort of all their hidden speeches and tones of how serious the situation is, and they could they could be the person with the knife in the hand, if that makes sense. They could be the one very non-peaches and creams with the tone of speech, okay? How they talk, how they insinuate the message of like what tone or what type of speech pattern can kind of dictate if this is a con or a negative thing towards somebody who has sun, moon, or ascendant placements in Taurus. Okay. Fixed severe karmatic money loss. Alright? So, when I say this, right? Since this is a fixed house, a lot of things are kind of, and this is the second house. Second house takes its time. It's very, I want to say slow again. I would say steady. It was just very steady instead of slow. Persistent. Right. This could give some sort of karmatic things that a second house could have done, person could have done in the past, to where they could have did something very severe for money. So now they kind of have to pay in this lifetime. So in a sense of like money fumbling, or what is it called when you bet? It's like a risk. But this could kind of lead to like wasteful gambling because of karmatic situations either in the past or in the past life. Okay. Incontrollable of sexual affairs, or of course sexual behavior. So yeah, Mars, I said Mars, I said male, I meant to say male or female. This could lead to kind of bad sexual consistent bad sexual experiences. Okay. Or of course permanent sexual trauma. Okay, this characteristics are kind of Sun and Taurus, so they might not be the ultimate intimate partner because of past relationships. Alright, so if you're on Sun and Taurus, you have to make sure, or Sun, Moon, Ascendant, you have to make sure that your, of course, your sexual nature is balanced, not controlled, because you Sun, Moon, and Ascendant has decent control or good control with sexual nature, but for the con side, it has uncontrollable spirit of sexual affairs or sexual behavior, of course, just natural sexual behavior. Okay, so you kind of want to keep out for or not even keep out, just pay attention to Taurus placements, people who have dominant second house placements. Okay, so basically imbalance of intimacy, long period of no foresight, of no transformation. So if second house second house law. Second house law is to keep steady, but make sure in their life that they transform. Okay, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, that's so eighth house to say. They're connected. Eighth house and second house, first house and seventh, fourth house and 10th, fifth house and 11th. All there's polar. The opposites is always connected. Okay. Now, when I say this, I meant to say, since it's way more steady, or the sign is steady. The sign has a specific goal. Okay. So if they don't have any foresight, no actual laid out plan, no thing that could be brought onto this earth that is of some type of substance, then that is a very con characteristic of this sign. Okay, because of that, they have to have some type of foresight of something that they have planned, that they are aiming for, that brings them some sort of transformation, or not just transformation in value. Okay, if they don't have that, that is a male or female, that is a con of one of the characteristics of Taurus. Okay. Intense, consistent, negative reaction. So, these individuals have to be very wary of their responses and reactions. Okay. This sign may not be the best when it comes to that. So they have to have a stoic, solid mind, okay, and not think of things too deeply or big. Once they get into that too much water, they start to sink in too deep. Okay, so one of the cons is, of course, just intense. Again, negative reactions. Just not very what is it? Optimistic in a sense. Okay, not really valued of positive feedback. Really, more so. One of the con characteristics is just consistent, again, negative feedback, whether it's them giving you that, or you giving something that's good. They could turn it to something that could be about you. Okay, because this sign is very strong-headed. Okay. Emotionally codependent. One of the cons is emotionally codependent. This sign is supposed to be independently secured. So if they are around a lot of people, and not just, when I say a lot of people with no value, could affect this sign very, very much so. People who are not gaining or trying to reach any value, and if they don't notice it themselves, or they don't care, this could also affect. And if they do, this could be very manipulative too, if they're codependent. Okay, meaning people who are they close with, they could be very codependent on them in a very manipulative way. Alright. Bad conduct of intentions. Okay. So one of the second house cons is intentions could be very not in the best nature of their close people, or somebody who they might feel as if is a hidden enemy. Okay, so just not having the best intentions for individuals they see nothing towards. They see that they don't see any substance, or they don't view any substance. Our people don't view them, or people that they see don't view them as anything. That their judgment could be a common characteristic of judging off the forefront of what they see. Okay. Selfishness. So one of the negative things is this sign could get to a degree of just not nurturing. Okay, Venus is nurturing just like the moon. Okay, but Venus is nurturing towards, again, like I said with the pros, adding in not only value or things that matter or items, but more so giving things that is important, like information or things that could work in real life, if that makes sense. Things that is, again, of substance. Okay, and with that being said, this sign could be one of the number ones as far as keeping all to self, because it's all, the bull is, like I said, is, is all about getting ahead, if that makes sense. Okay, so one of the common characteristics is just no matter what degree. All right, and first house is just like that too. Like I said, first house is just like that. First house and second house kind of share that characteristic too. Okay. And and then the next one is greedful. Again, like I said, greed meaning just too much focused on what they can get in life. Okay, not seeing what's the outside field, what happens in the after, or what happens after things, or the aftermath in general, or after death. Okay, so just being too greedy, whether that's food, whether that's just not sharing. Okay, Venus has to share, because Venus is associated with people too, and not just people. It means people too. It's people's resources also. Okay, not just yourselves, not just your resources. It's people resources. Yes, second house is, like I said, it's not, but again, sometimes you get your money from people, so again, it matters who you meet. Again, if that's Venus, alright, Venus is the money, Venus is the person that gives you the money, Venus is your job, and Venus is somebody who's emitting your check so you can get your money and you don't have to be hungry. And that's true. Okay. Resentment towards too many people or certain type of value individuals. Okay, so again, second house and 8th house is kind of associated with jealousy. So second house can be jealous off of the worth of people who might be worth more, and that's a con, because then that second house could see them as a open enemy or a hidden enemy because of that, and the enemy and the hidden enemy might not been a hidden enemy because of that, if that makes sense. yeah, again, so just really negative towards regular intimate partnerships and regular connections. So just just negative towards again, past partners are people you sleep with, and regular degular connections are livelihood, family. Resentment towards too many people or certain types of like no artist skill set. So again, no visual. So Taurus second house is all about visualization. Okay, things are highlighted for these people. They see things, but they see past it. They see things, but they see in it. They see things and they see spirits, if that makes sense. They see spirits of things that doesn't matter and things that matter. Alright, second house has that ability. Okay. What was I about to say? No artist skills. So with that being said, one of the cons is the second house that is too plain on earth. They don't have any 8th house to grab from, so they're all about what's in front of them. Nothing deeper, nothing more. Just straight up with what they have and what they have to do. Okay, and they don't have any artistic skills, meaning like, let's say, no music, no painting, no none of that. No getting nails done, hair done, no haircuts. These are the individuals who don't care. These are the constant individuals who don't care about like the wants of life, of like shoes and all that. And when I say they don't care of any means necessary to get what they have to do to get what they want. They don't care how difficult it may seem, because one of the con characteristics of the second house is calm, cool, and steady. And not just steady, psychologically steady. Not just regular steady, but psychologically steady too. Okay. So I don't want to say fake. I want to say copied energy. That's a negative connotation for second house. So whether that's them putting out the generic energy, or they are sensing generic energy. But I will say, since this is a con video, one of the con characteristics is generic energy that you could give people, not the down to earth energy, but more so really like, again, I do want to say fake energy, but generic. I'm gonna substitute it for generic, just generic energy. And of course, fake or generic jewelry. So jewelry that is not real. This could really impact somebody with a high Venus placement and high or debilitated Venus placement. It could bring kind of like unfair luck, and also Sun placement too, not just Venus, Sun. Alright. Oh yeah, North Node too. I want to put that there too. What else we got? Poor food habits. Okay. So again, it not only a con characteristic is like not giving a hell about your, like, what you eat, where it's from, the quality that is definitely a con characteristic of second house, because they're very sensitive to certain things and very certain types of foods. So they have to be. They're very sensitive to earth, to life. All right, but they're very. Don't get me wrong. They're strong. They're very connected, but they're still sensitive towards like regular earth visualization, plain field life. Okay, one of the strongest signs, still strong as shit, but very sensitive as well. Okay, it doesn't. Some of the earth signs don't show it, but earth is earth. Okay, if that makes sense. Bad business connections or references. So second house could bring terrible business connections or references, or you could give out bad references or business people, yeah, looking older than what average age is. So second house is all about, again, look, beauty. So if somebody is looking a certain type of way, you're gonna judge. But not only that, somebody say, oh, I'm this age, I'm that, and they don't look like that, it's because of their financial habits, their where's their hidden resources at. Okay, and when I say that, it means to say they're not focused. Their Venus isn't focused on the regular stuff like Versace, Gucci, and getting haircut every week or 2 weeks. You could tell Venus. You could tell by just looking out on Earth by certain people where Venus could be at. Okay, but I'm saying these are for regular Sun, Moon, Rising, Taurus placements. Okay, these are the cons as far as like what is the normal expectancy of second house. So, oh yeah, and I want to say abnormal reactions, abnormal responses that isn't cutthroat clear on the surface. Okay, that can be a very bad thing for somebody that is facing a Sun, Moon, Mars. I said Mars, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Taurus. Okay, I'm gonna make a part 2 to this series for more pros and more cons and characteristics, and I might give more details, but we're gonna keep going. I love you guys. I'm gonna definitely be back. Some more videos soon, and we on to Gemini pros and cons videos next, and so on. Peace, and y'all have a great night. Peace.